Okay. And we're going to talk about how sometimes the authors in your textbooks, maybe not textbooks, but maybe in your novels, the stories that you read, sometimes they don't write in full sentences. Have any of you noticed that? Sometimes they're not full sentences. Now, if you'll follow me here, I told you the other day that a sentence, the bare minimum, it has to have, hey everybody, a noun and a verb. Now, for now, we are going to call these synonyms, okay? A verb is a predicate. So if you hear me say the word predicate, don't get confused. It's just the verb in this sentence, okay? And we're also going to use nouns can be subjects and objects, okay? So don't get confused if you hear me say subject or object. Do you understand? Okay. So let's look at this sentence. The white ceiling hangs silently above the children. The nouns were black. So what's the noun here, Cameron?
Ceiling.
Ceiling. That's the thing, right? And the ceiling does what?
Hangs.
Hangs. Ceiling hangs. Remember we talked about how caveman say, ceiling hangs, right? So we just want to add this article to it. The ceiling hangs. Does it sound like a sentence? It says what it is about, and it says what it does. Okay, very good. Sometimes your authors don't have both parts. And I'm going to have you be investigators while I put some things up there. And you have to figure out what the author always does when they're not using full sentences. Okay, we'll get to that in a minute. Now, hangs is a verb, right? Verbs tell what? What they do. They tell action, right? Okay, when I was in 4th grade, my 4th grade teacher made me memorize this list. Whatever teacher in our district used to make you memorize these, I think she retired a few years ago. Anybody have to memorize these? Which teacher? Not these? Just the top ones. Okay, very good. Now, I had to memorize these, and I couldn't wait to memorize them because my older sister knew them, and I thought it sounded so cool when she said them. But it wasn't until I started teaching writing that I realized why my teacher made me memorize them. Here they are. You follow, see if I get them right. Is, am, are, was, were, have, has, had, do, does, did, will, would, shall, should, can, could, may, might, must be, being, been. Okay, those are verbs. Is was an action? No, it's not. You can't see somebody was. You can't see somebody am. Now this is a sentence. I am, period. I am. What's the noun in the sentence? I. It's a special kind of noun. Does anyone remember what kind of noun it is? It says noun in it. It's over there on the wall in blue. 1, 2, 3.
Pronoun.
Pronoun. And then am is the verb. So it's not an action. It's a special kind of verb. It's just a being or a linking verb. So I am. So sometimes it looks like it's not a sentence, but it really is. Okay, now I want to show you something on my overhead. And pay close attention. So far, I have only had 2 people figure out what the books have in common. Oh, that's the hard one. I'll do it last. My hero. Cassidy, my hero. What's missing in that one? Does it have a noun or does it have the verb? It has a noun. It doesn't say my hero did what, does it? Okay, take a look at that. Study it. You're going to compare this one to the next one. This one says, here. Capital letter period. Here. What's the verb in that one? What's the noun in that one? It has none. It has no noun, it has no verb. Okay? And then we have this one that's really long, and you would think you think it should be a sentence with as long as it is? That part of the electrical system? Does it have a noun or verb in it? Don't be fooled by me. It's talking about a part, right? So it has a noun, but does it say does what? No, to figure out the does what, we have to go up to the top and kind of read and figure out what he's asking, don't we? We do that when we talk, don't we? It would sound pretty silly if we always talked in full sentences. Okay? So did anybody catch how the three fragments, I'll call them, are alike? Yes.
The person saying it.
Very good. You are the first person all day. It's in quotation marks. You can put fragments in quotation marks if a person is speaking in your story, right? Okay. So that's when it's okay. Otherwise, it has to be a full sentence. You can stop.